Hi, I'm Michael Brown, and this is for my creative final for Mrs. Hedges Period 3 English class. I'm going to be performing a drum solo, and then talking about it, how it relates to my average day for first semester. So the first section that you're going to hear is the before school. It's waking up in the beginning of the day and falling back asleep. You know, it's 6 a.m. and it's very sluggish start to the day. You know, I don't want to be awake right now, but I got school, so I have to. So this will be the before school section of the day. So in this section, you'll hear a bell that will occur, and that would represent the school bell, which rings, that would start period 1 of the day. And throughout the entire solo, you'll also be hearing this recurring school bell, which would change period 1 to period 2, 2 to 3, and so on. So make sure you watch out for that. So here is before school. Starting my school day off is Mr. Booth with computerized graphic design. I absolutely love this class because I get to go on my computer every day, turn on Photoshop, and learn how to better enhance images, which I love. I love working with computers. So I find this class to be very light, as in I don't have too much worry, because I find all my work to be insanely enjoyable, and I shouldn't feel too stressed out about it, as I love working with computers, as I said before. So as you'll hear in this next section, I'll be using only cymbals and the bass drum, and that would represent the lightness that I was talking about, as these cymbals are much lighter than these toms that you've already heard. So here is period 1 computerized graphics. So on to period 2, I have advanced physics with Mr. Benz. This class I find to be very chill and laid back because, I walk into his class every day and he's just sitting in the corner playing some guitar. I find that so awesome because he acts like such a rocker and I love that. Like, I would walk into his class and he would notice that I'm wearing a Pink Floyd shirt. And he would tell me that he likes my shirt, and I would be so happy. So, period 2, you will notice that I'm playing a lot of classic rock patterns that I dedicate to how Mr. Benz is. A lot of the excerpts will be based off of one of my favorite bands, Rush, because one of the projects I did for his class was the roller coaster poster. And my theme was Rush, and he insanely enjoyed that. So, in dedication to Mr. Benz, here's period 2, advanced physics. So on to period 3, Mrs. Hedges, English. Probably one of, the best classes ever. Just saying. It's a lot of moving. Everybody's doing something. Like, whether on the computer or Mrs. Hedges is talking about the vocab or no matter what's going on, everybody's moving. And that's how this pattern is going to be for this section. Every two-handed beat that I'm going to be doing will be moving and driving, which is what I want from this. But also, I will be adding in the little creative fills and solos as, creative writing and all those different types of essays that I have to complete in her class. So watch out for those little fills and solos that I'll add in. So here is period 3, Mrs. Hedges, best class ever. Moving on to fourth period, this would be marching band and concert band with Mr. Sepulvedo. So for obvious reasons, I love this class. I'm playing drums, which is exactly what I love to do, as you can see by this drum solo I'm making. So this will feature a lot of the drumming rudiments that I have learned throughout this entire year. This will also incorporate the marching aspect of it, as I will be walking the pedals, is what drummers call it. It's where you keep the hi-hat and bass drum going, alternating. So here is period 4, marching band. Okay, lunch/advisory. This would probably be the most relaxed part of the day, as I've already been slightly worn out by the first 4 periods of the day. You'll notice that it's way more relaxed, laid back. I'm going to be featuring the swing section of drumming, which is much more chilled than more of the rock patterns that I've been showing off before. So this would be lunch and advisory. Hola clase, me llamo Michael. Up next will be period 6, which would be my Spanish 1-2 class with Profe. This would be probably one of the most chaotic classes I'm in. The teacher keeps everything somewhat sane, but there are a lot of students who act kind of a little bit crazy. So you'll be hearing in this section the recurring beat that goes on, which would represent the teacher, and it will be constantly interrupted by a much louder, much more rowdy theme, which are the other students. Estoy aquí, period 6, Español 1-2. On to the final period of the day, advanced geometry with Mr. Mackey. So, geometry sounds very much like gibberish at first. It's just he's blabbing out a bunch of random stuff, and at first I never understood anything. But later he slowed it down and took it piece by piece, and then I understood. I got it. And that's the same concept of drumming. A lot of people don't understand half of what drummers are doing, but when we slow down the beats, take it piece by piece, they understand. So that's what this next section is going to be based around. I'm going to be playing the same theme, the same rhythm, and just variated off of that. And as you slow it down, you might understand it a little bit more. So finally, this is the last period of the day, 7th period, Mr. Mackey's Advanced Geometry. So, breaking it down into chunks, it would start out with your basic groove, which would be your hi-hat, your driving force. Then you would add the bass drum in, which is your pulse. Then you add the snare and your fill. And then there's your fill. And if you speed it up a bit, you get to that original form.